I wanted to talk a little today about relationships, just hop right in and share. I've shared a lot of my favorite shows before, things that I watch in terms of relationship, because I'm always trying to learn and grow where relationships are concerned. So, one of the main things that I think people overlook in relationships is communication. So, communication is key. Being able to communicate effectively, meaning voice not raised, meaning get to the point, meaning, not harboring past indiscretions or mistakes and constantly throwing them up. But communication means that you want to resolve the issue that's going on in your relationship. A lot of times people don't understand that, patience, kindness, and love, they are all roots to just having the best relationship you can have. So when you communicate, how should you communicate? When we're in love, when we're smitten, when we first start dating, it's always easy to just communicate so lovingly, whether it's sending a text or whether it's an email, a card, flowers, or that sort of thing. But when we're upset, it's a totally different story. A lot of times the person we're seeing, they don't know the real us. They know the representative that we're putting forward. So as they grow and as they learn us, and as we learn them, we have to learn to communicate more effectively, period. There should not be one partner doing all the work and trying and forgiving while the other partner is off doing their own thing and determined that they're not going to change. We do change for the person we marry. Maybe not the person we date, but the person we marry, we should change for them. And those changes should be changes that make the marriage as a whole better. I've changed. There are lots of things that, I wasn't used to doing. I didn't have to do because I was working. I was an entrepreneur. I was covering all my own bills. And a lot of times it's hard for independent women like that to now say, okay, there's a man in my life and I have to consider his feelings, his thoughts, and all of that. Even me, for instance, I try not to. He might say that I don't try hard enough, but I try hard to make sure that I'm not working all the time. So what does that mean? That means that, when I first started out in entrepreneurship, I was working like every time an idea came, I'm hopping on the computer, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But it got to the point where I had to set boundaries because I don't want to be successful in business and then a failure in my marriage. So it got to the point where my hours just became Tuesday through Thursday. I was working a 3-day week and Tuesday, Wednesday, 3-day week. And I was trying to not do anything on Monday so we can use that day to go out and do something fun. And then Friday, just relax as we prepare for, studying on Saturday and then the word and church service on Sunday. So there had to be a balance. And that's one of the reasons why I started building more courses and pulling back a lot from doing the one-on-one coaching because with the one-on-one coaching, you have to set a time. And even though my time is flexible, sometimes my husband might want to do something spur of the moment. He might need something and it might pull me away from that. So I have 3 days that I block out to do business kind of stuff. And how did we reach this conclusion? I communicated about it. We talked about it. I shared my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish. And, see, even with entrepreneurship, I share this in the Millionaire Lab where I'm training men and women who want to supersize their business. and go out there and launch it big. I shared in there that, when you're running a business, it shouldn't be totally consuming you, lack of sleep and all of that. Even if you have to do that at the beginning, that should only be for a season. That should not be the lifetime of entrepreneurship, and that's not something that your spouse should have to deal with. So you need boundaries. You need time that is just spouse time, time that is business time, and even time to relax time, because you need that replenishment no matter what you do, whether you work a 9 to 5, whether you're single, whether you're separated, whether you're married, whatever the case may be, you need to have that balance. So communication was key for us. I was able to communicate the fact that I'm trying to accomplish this. I'm trying to launch this school. I want to teach people how to see in the spirit. I was just explaining in depth what the courses that I'm creating are about, so he can understand and be on board and support me, not just in his understanding, but also in prayer, because he prays over my businesses, he prays over me, and I do the same for him. So communication is really key in a relationship. And here's the thing, I say a lot of times, especially to those who are dating, in the dating process, you're going to get glimpses. You might not at first, but eventually you will start to get glimpses of what you're going to have to deal with the rest of your life if you marry this person. And my husband, he was consistent. What he showed me was attentiveness. What he showed me was thoughtfulness. Whether it's picking up something from the store when he's out that he knows that I like, or my favorite snack. He showed me what I would have to deal with for the rest of my life. And when you have someone who's showing you something good, you don't mind that. Now, if you have someone who's showing you, that they're inconsiderate, they text inconsistently, you have to run them down or chase them down, you're pulling teeth to get answers and responses, they won't open up emotionally, that's a lack of communication, and it shows that they're not really sold on this thing that the two of you have together. I know a lot of times in our mind, women do it mostly, but men do it too. We like to fantasize. We like to glorify, the wonderful little bit of things and overlook all of the glaring red lights and alarms that are showing us, the red flags, like, do not go into this relationship full time. So, I coach people on that. I'm on the cusp of reopening my marriage preparation. Well, it was a group before, and now I'm going to make it a course where I'm walking through, and you can go at your own pace and learn and grow. So I am in the process of doing that. But I want women to understand that, and I think Maya Angelou, sometimes we misquote people, but I believe it's her that said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Sometimes we're in fantasy mode, we're in love mode, we're in lust mode with someone who is giving us all the clear signs that they are not the one. So communication. If you don't have communication in your relationship or your dating relationship or your marriage, you need to build on that. And if you have something that you can't build on, then it might make you take a couple of steps back and begin to assess, what is this I'm dealing with? Who is this person really, right? So you want to always be transparent. You want to say what you're feeling. I know a lot of times as women, because we are nurturers and we don't want people to hurt, we hide how we feel to make someone else feel better or to not put them on the spot. But you have a right to know how someone feels about you. You have a right to know what they expect, or where do you see this back and forth texting, emailing relationship going. You shouldn't have to guess and hope and wish and dream. We have a way also of, You know, if he says, this is nice, I had a really nice time, you're a really good, really nice woman or really nice girl, we will take that up and blow it up and make it almost equate to marriage when he never said that. So we have to be wise, especially in this season. There's so much loss, there's so much devastation, but one thing we can still share is communication. So what areas can you communicate better in? Is it your downtime? Is it your busy time? Is it your creative time? You know, whatever it is, just begin to ask God, Lord, how do I balance this? Because you said that it's not good for man to be alone. And I'm a woman and I desire a relationship. So how do I balance it so that nothing suffers? And you don't want to go on the opposite end of the spectrum. You know, there are women who they don't do anything. They don't chase any of their dreams because their eyes are fixed solely on marriage, and then after marriage they believe that's when they'll start living their dreams. But you need to live your dreams now. You need to see what God has called you to do now. You need to yield to him so he can mold you, because some of the things he's going to use through business, through going back to school, if that's what he's telling you to do, some of those things are going to be tools that you need as you go into marriage, because as we all know, marriage is a compromise, right? So, you know, I'm just sharing this video, a little bit of my heart to get you thinking, so that, you know, in this season of uncertainty and change, you know, if you have someone who you're dating or you seeing and you kind of like, and they're not there with the communication and it doesn't look like they're ever going to be there, cut your losses so that the real thing can find you. You know, so many times we feel like if we lose this guy, it's going to be a year or 2 or 10 before we find someone else that's interested. That's a lie of the enemy. God can send someone in your life tomorrow. What you need to do today, though, is let go of what is not for you so that what is for you can come. I just wanted to pop on and share that a little quickly. You know, I know relationships are a big thing on this channel. People always want to know more about relationships. People want to be married. So I wanted to come on here and just share that and kind of shy away from all the doom and gloom that's going on. So what is your biggest concern in relationships? I would love to do more short relationship segments. So what questions do you have about love, marriage, relationships, dating, or, you know, just knowing if a person is the one? Go ahead and drop me a comment, and I'll either respond, or if I get several questions, I'll bunch them together and actually do a video answering all of the questions. I'd love to do that. So if you have a question, please ask and I'll be back.